What if the war in Ukraine is about to take a dramatic turn? Donald Trump has just dropped a bombshell claim that Kyiv could reclaim every inch of Ukrainian territory, including its original borders, marking a startling reversal in his stance on the conflict. But here's where it gets controversial. How exactly can Ukraine achieve this? And what does it mean for the future of NATO, Russia's economy, and the global balance of power? Let's break it down. In a recent post on his Truth Social platform, Trump asserted that Ukraine, with European and NATO backing, could restore its pre-war borders by exploiting the cracks in Russia's struggling economy. This bold statement came after a meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky following Trump's address to the UN General Assembly. Zelensky, for his part, welcomed the shift, calling it a big change and hinting at potential U.S. security guarantees post-conflict. However, he admitted, "We don't have specific details yet," while leaving the door open for more advanced weaponry, air defenses, and drones. And this is the part most people miss. Trump's comments don't just reflect a change of heart. They signal a recalibration of his entire approach to the war. Earlier this year, he warned Zelensky that Ukraine lacked the cards to win a prolonged battle against Russia's larger military. Now, he's declaring Moscow a paper tiger, urging Kyiv to act swiftly. Critics are already asking, is this a genuine strategy or another Trumpian flip-flop designed to shift blame onto allies and adversaries alike? The president also threw NATO into the spotlight, suggesting member states should shoot down Russian planes violating their airspace, a move that could escalate tensions. Recent incidents in Estonia, Poland, and Romania have already tested the alliance's resolve, with Russia denying wrongdoing in some cases. Trump, meanwhile, praised NATO's recent pledge to boost defense spending to 5% of GDP by 2035, calling it a sign of progress. Yet he also criticized allies for continuing to buy Russian energy, accusing them of funding a war against themselves. Here's the kicker. Trump's sudden optimism about Ukraine's prospects contrasts sharply with his earlier skepticism. In February, he bluntly told Zelensky during a tense Oval Office meeting that Ukraine needed to prepare for territorial concessions. Months later, he even floated the idea of brokering a deal where Kyiv would surrender Donetsk and Luhansk in exchange for a frozen front line, a proposal eerily similar to one Putin himself suggested in Alaska. Now, Trump is painting Ukraine as a winner. Could this be a ploy to pressure Moscow? Or is it a genuine shift in calculus? What's more, Trump's latest move might be an attempt to revive stalled peace talks. After hosting Putin in Alaska, negotiations have been gridlocked for over a month. By positioning himself as a potential mediator, Trump could be trying to outmaneuver both sides, or simply testing the waters for a post-2024 political narrative. And let's not forget the elephant in the room, Crimea. Despite Russia's 2014 annexation, Trump hasn't mentioned the region in his latest comments. Could this omission be strategic? Or does it reflect a lack of clarity in his thinking? So, where does this leave Ukraine and the world? Trump's newfound support for Kyiv's territorial ambitions is a seismic shift, but its real-world impact remains uncertain. Will NATO allies follow through on increased spending and arms transfers? Can Russia's economy truly collapse under the weight of sanctions and war fatigue? And what happens if Trump's paper tiger theory turns out to be wrong? These are the questions that will define the next chapter of this war. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Trump's pivot is a game changer or just another unpredictable twist in a volatile conflict?